side of boxing, in terms of promotion, in terms of ticketing, in terms of all these things that promoters go through. So Marvin,
yes,
before anything else, before becoming the head of boxing pale Kalakoda, boxing ilikuingia kivipi?
Boxing iliniingia first of all na passion.
Okay.
I've done it before.
Right.
And then I switched gears. I went to coaching. I did more of studying in terms of sports science. So interest yangu ikafocus kwa boxing sana. Though pia nimecheza sport ingine, basketball.
Explains the height. Explains the height.
Yeah. So boxing ilikuja ikatake over too. Though basketball iko, but boxing is now the in thing.
Right, boxing the in thing right now. But so when you started fighting, when you started now being actively in boxing, which weight category did you go after first, and how have you been progressing?
It was only mimi nilifanya amateurs.
Amateurs.
Yes, I did welter and super welter. Then from hapo things changed.
Yeah, ukakuwa heavyweight of promotion sasa. Right. Okay.
So, tell us more about your coaching experience. You did strength and conditioning coaching,
Yes.
What do you feel like Kenyan boxers are lacking for them to actually excel, especially going from amateur to pro? As a strength and conditioning coach.
One thing I can say is most of Kenyan boxers lack the facilities. First of all, they lack the right facilities of training, and then. Pia kando na facilities kuna ile direction yenye unafaa uonyeshwe kama boxer, like these are the things you're supposed to do and these are the things you're not supposed to do, because ukiangalia back then so many people believe boxers are not supposed to maybe lift weights or anything. Because wanasema mara unaambia utakuwa stiff,
too heavy, you'll be stiff.
But it depends on how you're doing it. Every athlete does strength and conditioning. Even tennis, they do, even table tennis. So I think boxers should know that na hiyo ni kitu yenye maboxer wengi wanafaa waambiwe na wafundishwe. Like it's not about bodybuilding. It's about building your strength as an athlete, and it helps you in so many ways kwa your sport.
It helps you in so many ways for your sport. And then now, from you transitioning now from being now a boxer into a promoter. Now, everyone talks about the likes of Kina Eddie Han, Pale in terms of boxing. If you go to the UFC, Dana White. If you go to WWE, Kina Vince McMahon, Kina Triple H. But what does it take to be a promoter of boxing, especially here in Kenya?
First of all, I will say it takes a lot of sacrifice. Because being a promoter is not easy. As a promoter kuna vitu mob unafaa uangalie, because you don't have to be a promoter every time losing money in the fights. That's why you have to look for partners, sponsors to come in, like other stakeholders to come and chip into the sport so that it can be successful. Because if you depend on ticket sales alone, mostly tuseme saizi Kenya, yes, boxing imechange a lot, and it's really going to go far. So unakuja unapata promoters come, yes, but they come and then they end up maybe at times using their own money to put on the fights, and it doesn't break even for them. So unapata maybe ni kitu anafanya once or twice, then anaona hapa nachomeka, so wacha tu nishike njia. I have the passion, but maybe you do inakata.
And let me ask you, still on this story of sponsorship, they still, as much as yes, boxing has grown as a sport, as much as especially in Kenyan history we can say, I always say it, aside from athletics, when it comes to medals, boxing has also led Kenya in a lot of medals in terms of Olympics, but there's still this stigma around the nature of the sport, which is what I think promoters struggle with when it comes to sponsors, because there's that it's a violent sport. So what are you doing as a promoter to break that stigma around the sport?
First of all, I will say yes, boxing is a combat sport, not a violent sport. And it's a sport like any other. And for example, what you've said, so many athletes have come out here in Kenya na wame to support on kuonyesha, likes of Benson Gisharu, Olympics alishine, Okwiri, Olympics alishine. But unakuja unapata maybe people associate boxing with more of ghetto vibes. Unaelewa, wanaonanga tu boxing ama maboxers wengi ni wa ghetto, ni wa mtaani. So ukikuja angalia unaona tu ni kama ile hardship, like they had to fight for life for them to survive. So wanakuja wanaona maybe dealing with such people is a bit hard. But boxing si story ya ghetto peke yake.
Because we have other sports. I mean, football pia wase utoka from humble beginnings, but there's a stigma around when you decide to be a boxer.
Hiyo ni kweli. Even football people come from ghetto areas. Watu wanatoka uko chini yani, na wanajirise wanaenda juu. Ukiangalia likes of tuseme kina Olunga. Olunga ametoka ushago huko ameenda mahali sasa hii yeye ni ana own a box a football
team more.
Yes. Umeelewa? So kuja angalia pia kama boxing. For example, look at someone like let's say Zarika. Zarika came from scratch.
Yes, yeah.
But she fought her way up. Akaenda akaelevate mpaka akashika belt ya WBC. So unakuja unapata when she gets this title ndio sasa watu wanamtambua. So we don't feel like our boxers are much appreciated like any other sport. So we need that support from the country, from the government, from stakeholders who want to come and chip in into the sport. At least itatoa hiyo stigma yenye unasema ya maboxers kuonekana ni kama they are nothing.
Yeah.
And in terms of now you being a promoter, the fact that unataka kuwa na a couple of fighters in your promotion, the scouting, who mnaanza aje ndio mtafute hawa fighters? Kucheni, for example, now kucheni kama Kalakoda, how mnawatafuta kivipi?
You see, this is the thing. For the scouting and the signings that we are doing, haina ubaguzi. Haina ubaguzi. Of course, you will always see a good footballer, always a basketballer, anything. It's the same thing that happens in boxing. If you see someone with a potential, mse anaweza enda far. So the best way to make this person grow and succeed in this career is like trying to make sure this person is aligned with a promotion that will give guaranteed fights in a certain period of time. Because ukiangalia back then unapata, if you can count last year kuna fights maybe zime happen, but not as frequent as these other countries. These other countries venye umesema kina Edihan, fights do happen weekly. So we only get to know the champs, but we don't know what the champs went through before wafike wapi pale juu. So they really fought their way. Unakuja unasikia mtu amecheza sijui how many amateur fights, 300. Unaelewa? Hizo 300 amateur fights zenye amecheza hapa Kenya. Yes, amateur fights do happen, but now in terms of professional fights, hakuna stakeholders wengi, sponsors wengi wenye wana come through to support the sport so that it can be happening more frequently. Because the moment it happens more frequently, unakuja unaona at least boxers wana elevate. Sasa ukiulizwa unapata boxer, boxer, yes, kando akona ka job side hustle, maybe any gym instructor, mwingine maybe anafanya job ya security. So trying to juggle those two things inakuwa hard because kuna hustle na kuna hiyo sport. Nakumbuka hii sport pia anataka kuteka career. And then unakuja unapata boxer ameanza hiyo sport, maybe unasikia ako 23. But from 23 to 26 haja fight. Because fights hakuna. Unaona? Haja fight. So hiyo 3 years imeenda waste. Anazeeka pia. Na unasikianga ujana ni maji ya moto. So akiwa hapo mdogo ndio at least hiyo nguvu iko. So akigrow wakienda amefika 28 and then fight moja tena ingine 30, unaona it becomes so hard for them to look at boxing as something they can depend on. So unapata lazima jipe shughuli. Mwingine utasikia wengine wanaingia wana hustle, maybe Gikomba manguo 2-3, azeuza viatu nini, you know. So those are the struggles zenye pia wanapitia.
And then maybe you can emphasize for the people listening how important it is for a boxer to actually book these fights because of rankings. I will say it's very important. And one thing I can say, it's not about booking per se. No, it's not about booking per se. It's about the promotion giving interesting fights. And what we want is not about choosing specific people to be fighting in these cards. It's open for any boxer who is willing to compete. Ana come, ana reach out, and then we see on the box rec how, and we plan on tunaweza mpeana nani. Naona imsaidie kivipi. Because if you look at it, tunafanya maybe in a month we do 8 fights. So these 8 fights, boxers ni wengi. But they will all reach out, alafu unapata they all want to be on the next fight, but ni 8 peke yake. And as well we also have to consider we are getting fighters from outside. So we can't do everything at once. It's a long stretch, but once you reach out, for sure you'll get an opportunity.
You'll get an opportunity. And earlier on nilikuwa naongea hapa na Quiniki about how the UFC in terms of rankings and in terms of title nights wako nazo. So fight night ni siku za rankings and non-titles nakelewa, and then UFC 370 something ama hizo numbers na hapo ndo sasa belts zinakelewa to be defended. Do you think that similar approach can happen in boxing, especially here in Kenya, whereby you have ranking nights and then you have defensive nights in terms of as a promoter?
Yes, it's happening. Even as we speak, it has always been happening. Even kutoka nyuma imekuwa ikihappen. People do fight for title fights. But so unapata since our boxers are still building up, they can't go and start bidding for the big belts like WBC, WBO, unaelewa. But kuna mtu akona WBO Africa kwa Tanzania, Zarika had WBC here in Kenya. You understand? So before afike kwa hiyo WBC unapata alikuwa champion, maybe national champion. They start with these small belts to elevate them. At least inampia hiyo moral. Unasikia kuna East and Central African, kuna PST, kuna WABA, kuna ABU. So all those belts pole tu unaenda ukielevate nayo. And those ones are the ones that take you to the international rankings now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we have... Okay. You?
No, you remind our audience.
Good stuff.
Don't you listen?
Okay, sir. We have Marvin Obuya in studio. He is the head of boxing, Kala Koda Promotions. And you know what? Any questions that you have about boxing, even as a boxer and you want to get into a promotion, you know, our number is 0733222105. Also, you can call us through 0748999111, and Marvin will be here to answer you out.
I wanted to ask, since you're part of scouting talents to say as well, what do you think you've seen in Kenyan boxers that people haven't noticed about Kenyan boxing yet, as compared to, let's say, TZ, Uganda? What can you say differentiates Kenyan boxers?
What I've seen that people don't see is potential. Potential. Like there's crazy potential in Kenyan boxing. We have so many good fighters. And like I've said, wakipata tu like someone who can help them nurture that. Trust me, we'll have so many champions in the country. So many champions. From the young age, kuna maboxa wako wengi sana na ni wabaya. Wengi. You can see this is raw talent. This is someone who just needs a push to go and elevate himself to the next level.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, challenges, and there are so many challenges that I'm sure you go through as a boxing promoter in Kenya. And also, like you're talking about finding out talent, getting them into the right shape, getting them into the exposed games, and you know what, making their rankings way up. Other challenges, not only for promotion, for promoters, but also boxers here in Kenya. Some of them are what? Considering that, you know what, for example, in Los Angeles to Olympics in 2028, you know, getting boxers into the Kenya team and all that. What are some of those challenges?
I think some of the challenges, because you see mostly as we're talking about professional boxing.
Professional, yes.
Most of the challenges that boxers have is lack of clear mentorship and management. Because unapata boxers wengi, they don't have managers. They deal by themselves. And at times ukideal peke yako, you don't have someone to guide you like this is what you're supposed to do. But you also understand, as a boxer, maybe sina hizo fights zinanilipa do mob, umeelewa, to be able to have a manager, for example. And at times managers, it's not about paying them. It's someone ajitole. Ni mtu ajitole aseme, I want to manage this boxer. Then if I'm managing this boxer, I want to try and see which steps he makes next before we get to this point. Yeye ndiye ana bargain fights, ndiye ana organize fights, kitu kama hiyo. So unapata in most cases we don't even get to talk to the boxers themselves. Some we talk to the managers. Then manager atafikishia nani? Boxer wake wakikaa chini. But mara mingi unapata ni boxer ndio tunaongea na wao. And which I can also say a big shout out to all the coaches supporting all these boxers out here, because these coaches are the ones who act like their managers.
Okay.
Because unapata hao ndio the easiest people to reach to before ufikia maboxer. Yeah, so if you reach out to the coach, maybe the coach can pitch something to the boxer and say like, hey, so and so is coming, this one inaweza jipa.
I've noticed you've been saying a lot of let's say within this sport, a lot of things are actually done by someone's goodwill. Not financial, from the fighters to the management to everything. And what do you feel needs to be done to change that? Because yes, passion is there, but also when your bills can't be paid with passion.
You know, this is the thing. Even in all these sports, maybe even the tennis and everything, these people have their managers. And if you've realized, unapata they had people who started with them when they are down there. So for them, they've done the right and the correct nurturing of the sport. Hata hapa kwa boxing, why I'm saying passion, everything in sport is passion, trust me. If you go to boxing in all these gyms, you'll find coaches who have been dedicated to these boxers from their amateur levels. Maybe when they turn pro, they hand them over to the professional coaches now in the pro level. So our coaches wa pro ndio unapata wanawa guide, wanawa train, wanafanya nini. Sometimes hata boxers hawana fare, hata ya kuenda zoezi. coach ataingia kwa mfuko yake, atoe pesa, apatie huyu boxer ni aje, ini yako ya transport, kesho ukikamtizi. Why? Because this person is seeing potential in this person. Na unaona huyu boxer, this is the only thing I know how to do. Hii ndio naweza fanya the best, initoe kwa blanda. So makoch wana take sacrifice mob sana. Pia kuna well wishers hapa nje. They're just people who come in and say like, oh, this guy has good talent. Mimi nitambaya viatu ya kukimbia. Ndambaya gloves. Unaona? Mimi nitakuwa na kusupport fair. Something like that. So it all starts with sometimes that I see passion. Like what you had said, the stakeholders. That is just part of it's like some sponsorship sort of thing. I sponsor this boxer with small things that I can elevate naende mbele. But now when we go to the bigger stages now for the promotions, we need big companies to come and do what? And sponsor. It's the same thing. Unaona vile pia sisi promoters tunatafuta sponsors. Pia wao boxers wako tu hiyo level. They need people to support them. Same thing. Hata football teams zingine unapata ziko sponsored na sports betting companies and all this. They can't do it by themselves. Yeah.
All right. You know what? And I love this discussion, and you're still going to go on with it. We're going to take a small break, but when we come back, Marvin Obuya, who is the head of boxing Pale Kalakoda, we will talk about now the success stories. We've talked about the challenges, we've talked about everything that is facing boxing, but now with all those challenges, there has to be success stories. When we come back, we'll hear about them.
Absolutely sensational!
SportyFM, Beyond Sport.
Kalakoda promotion. Remember, we are live on Facebook, so if you have any questions to do with boxing, with promotion, Marvin is here and he'll make sure he'll get back to you. Also, our WhatsApp number is 0733 222 105, and you can call us through 0748 999 111. So if you're just tuning in, we've been talking about, the hardships and the struggles coming through as a promoter in Kenya, and also from the boxing side of it. But with every struggle, at the end of the day, if you're diligent and you're patient enough, you will have the win. And Marvin, I'm sure mmekuwa some success stories in terms of not only as a promotion, but also the boxers under you. So the business part of the promotion, what has been some of the success stories of the business aspect of the promotion?
Okay. One thing I can say about the success is number one, which we appreciate, is we got a good deal from a broadcasting company,
very good,
which it supports sana your sport. Number one, that is a success. And then this is the first time Kalakoda promotion is coming to Kenya, because it has never done any shows in Kenya. So the one we did last year was the first show in Kenya. So we are hoping for more things to come. But in terms of boxing, yes, we've had success. Yeah, even with the boxers. At least unaweza sema kuna vitu zinajipa sasa.
At least hapo kwa boxers also some of the success stories unaweza share.
Yeah. I can say, for example, ukiangalia mtu kama, let's say, Zarika. Yeah. Zarika has been a champion and will forever be a champion. And the success that I can say right now is Zarika is now aiming towards getting back the big belts that she used to have, Mona, and which is also a success story. We also have these young upcoming boxers, Jojo Nyango, Kina Manu, Kengele Mtuko Ukwiri, Achebi, Maketho, tuko na wao wengi, and kama Maketho hata wasiki, they are all going to fight for an Eastern Central African title in Kenya here. So at least tukikula hiyo tunajua that's a success story. Kenya, at least we are stepping up.
Stepping up.
I think what would you say is the future in boxing as you as a promoter? What do you see as the future in boxing the next, let's say, 5 years or so?
It's absolutely bright. Absolutely bright, because in the next 5 years I believe we'll have so many champions, not only one, because if you look at boxing as a whole, not only in terms of Kalakoda, now tunaweza sema at least so many promoters are there. They're on board, they're getting good sponsorship, so the industry is going to be active. So imagine Kalakoda is doing their fights on this side, another promotion is doing their fights on this side, so napata in a month like four fights have happened in a month. You understand? So hizo 4 fights zita elevate hao mayoungster wote wenye tuko na wao, tunaenda tukipanda wote. So in the next, not even 5 years, in the next 2 years will be far. Tutakuwa na big title hapa Kenya.
Very good. Now, have you guys ever thought about what happens after maybe one of your fighters now has fought enough and now it's time to retire? Is there a way the promotion goes beyond the mat to actually kuangalia vile some of these retiring fighters are doing? I mean, Congestina is a very good example of whereby you sacrifice everything and that no one comes and checks up on you and things go the way they went. Is there a way Kalakoda is doing it differently?
Yes. One thing I can say is life after boxing for these boxers, whether you're successful or not successful. It depends with how the journey that we've gone together with you as Kalakoda. So utapata in so many things we will really want to support and be in part of your life to make sure welfare yako iko poa. Because ukiangalia like when you mentioned Konje, Konje had the moments in boxing. He was our champ. And things happened, ilikuwa na mambo ya God, but pia well wishers walijitokeza, just like you said, ni well wishers. Big up Mike Sonko siku zote. Kabumba huyo aligo out of his way manze, akapeleka Konje rehab nini na kila kitu, and I can say alitry mali aliweza. Umeona? So Konje pia atabaki tu akiwa champ, and we wish her the best. So for Kalakoda pia tunazidi kuangalia welfare ya boxers together with the commission ya boxing pia, because if you've realized, the commission is what gives you the permission for either to fight or not fight. You know, and then pia ukiangalia zile mikakati commission imekuja imeweka saizi, the KPBC wameka mikakati zingine poa na ni safe kwa all the boxers and all the fighters. in the long run hata commission imekuwa ikistruggle kupush maboxers wakuwe na welfare poa. But at least now with so many promoters on board and fights coming up, things will be okay for these boxers.
Things will be okay for these boxers. Now, the other side of it, grassroots boxing.
Yes.
You know, guys coming through, like tumeongea kwa zile ma social halls tunazijua za huko mtaani unapata at least kuna either boxing ama kuna manze bag imehangiwa. Now, in different counties, not only Nairobi. Do you think one day you'll have a situation whereby as a promotion when you get into this grassroots area, not only identifying potential but lifting up boxing in those regions?
Thank you. So
swali ilikuwa refu sana ama nikigawa?
Hapana, iko sawa kabisa. So this is what I will say about that. Ukiangalia grassroots boxing, talent iko. And saizi unapata kuna very big stages that maybe our boxers wa grassroots wana feel hawawezi feel kufit in kwa hiyo. Kalakoda Promotions, we are starting a new project for boxing as well, still in professional boxing. It's called the Young Lions. So Young Lions ni our grassroots wote wenye wanataka kukam watan professional, wanataka kumake record, kujibuild, like hapo sasa ndio place watakuja wana compete. At least wanaona vile wana grow. Na unaona you pia na keep active as well. And then in terms of going to different places, like different cities venye umesema, which is a very important thing, because tunaona in boxing bado kuna ile rural to urban migration ina happen. Unapata boxer anatoka Ushago kwanza anakuja kupigana Nairobi ndio anarudi. So it's because pia unapata kule interior hizo facilities si mob. And then the big sponsors that we have wako kwa capital city manze Nairobi. Na Rosafi. So unapata kampuni iko hapa Nairobi and then unamwambia tunaenda kusponsor kitu iko Kisumu. Unapata it's a bit tricky for them trying to look at the logistics on how to push these things and all that. It's a bit hard. But with time, once vitu zina grow, it will be easy now. Unapata we are doing this thing now tuko Kisumu, tuko Mombasa, instead of them coming to our doorstep. So itakuwa ni sisi tunaenda. Umeelewa? Okay. Angalia place ka US, game iko Texas, iko Nevada, iko wapi. It's like they keep on moving everywhere. But hapa Kenya mostly zina happen in one place. Lakini venye tumesema boxing is changing. 2 years ago kuna game ilikuwa imeenda Meru. Game ilienda Meru, ya pro. Yes. Kuna ingine tena iliendanga ikafanyika huko Wajir, huko Turkana huko. Ya pro. So it depends. Na huko pia unapata ni sponsor alitoka from that side. Unaona mtu alitoka from that side. So if we get these sponsors from different places, mwingine atoke Nairobi, mwingine atoke Kisumu, mwingine atoke, it's easy for us to do that. Unaona? Because sisi tuko based huku, sisi tunaangalia huku shamba la mawe ndio yetu sasa. Unaona? Huku ndio tunatafutia ma sponsor na ma promoter. Tukiwapata huku mambo inafanyika huku. But once we start spreading the wings, of course, it will go far.
I think for me, I would say maybe a message to sponsors and well-wishers and why they need to come out in plenty. Even if it's just to fully sponsor, let's say, one boxer. What would you like to tell them and why it's important for them to come on board?
Okay. First of all, naweza sema, they should look at boxing as a sport. Not as a tough or a ghetto thing. It's a sport. They should look at boxing as a sport. That is one. And then the importance of supporting or sponsoring a box and anything, it's like, I will say ni more of sisi ita charity per se. Tuseme tu ni kitu ya kujitolea to support someone who has a potential in something. Umeona? Naweza waambia tu wajitokeze sana. At least we can be having so many champions in Kenya in the next few years by that support. And of course people don't forget. Mtu akikushika mkono leo, kesho utashika mwingine. Na ukumbuke manzi hata mimi ni mtu alinivuta kutoka pale chini nikapanda juu. So with all the sponsors around and anybody wanajijua sisi sema uni sponsor au si sponsor. So kindly just feel free to support the sport and be ready anytime. Come and support our own, because we're doing it for the country, we're doing it for our boys, we're doing it for the sport as well. So itatusaidia sana. Even the government as well, at times unapata they chip in few things from the push of the Professional Boxing Commission. Unaelewa? So if KPBC doesn't push that much, it's hard for us to get maybe Gava involved. So KPBC pia is doing a big job. Big up Zendolo hapo president wetu, kina SG Franklin na assistant wake Julius Odhiambo, wase wanafanya job poa. They really push on trying to get the government involved, and pia sometimes they look for sponsors for themselves wakuja support hizi fights, because unapata sponsors wajitokeze nao ndio wako kwa ofisi, so it's their duty to push sponsors to come.
It's their duty to push sponsors to come through. Now, in terms of, yes, we've talked about boxing, we've talked about the promotion, but you as Marvin, uko na maisha pia.
Niko na maisha.
Uko na maisha, si ndio?
Yes.
Sasa, in terms of maisha, kwanza in Kenya, in terms of football, timu yako ni gani? Tuanzie hapo na maisha ya mtaani.
Venye amecheka tu unaweza jua ni Arsenal.
Lakini no, kwanza hapa Kenya.
Tuanze na hapa
mtaani.
Gor siku zote.
24/7
365. Gor siku zote.
Bro, kuna hiyo game between nyinyi na Nairobi United yenye 60 minutes ikaisha hivyo.
Yeah.
Bro, would you want your story it drag towards the end of the season ama mmalizia saa hizi?
Hiyo tutamalizana nayo saa hii.
End of the season italeta story.
Italeta mama.
Imagine manze mko the same points na FC Leopards. And then saa hizo ndio hiyo story inaanza kutokea.
Unajua sport tunasemanga anything can happen. Not every day is a Sunday. Umeelewa? Kitu yote inaweza change. Yes. So kama timu yangu ingine sasa ya EPL yenye nimecheko hapa.
Kwani hiyo timu okay.
Just tell.
Lakini tunajivunia.
At least manze mna lead 3 tables.
Tuko juu.
Kwanza Premier League, alafu Champions League na hapa pia Kenya.
Vikombe ni 3.
Kesi ni time.
Haraka.
So in terms of Arsenal wewe,
yeah.
Wewe unaona at least this season mnaweza kuwa at least na treble.
Wewe uone hiyo.
Mimi nilisema quadruple, watu wakapigana na mimi.
Wewe uone.
Mimi naona inawezekana.
Si ati inawezekana, ishakuwa.
Quadruple ama treble.
3 maridadi.
So 3 ni Champions League, FA
na inaitwaje na UEFA.
So UEFA,
FA na inaitwaje hii kikombe hii.
Carabao. So ligi wewe uone.
Hakuna kitu kingine.
Hizo 3. Hii nyingine tuachane nayo.
Hii nyingine kwanza tuache itulie.
Na ukiacha itulie at the end of the season, mta blame Arteta, mtasema amechukua muda mob ama mtampatia more time.
Patience.
Lack of ambition right there speaking.
No, but amesema at least treble, Champions League, Carabao na FA. Premier League amesema this season ameona iwezekani even if they are 4 points ahead.
Sasa 4 points walikuwa 12 points at some point. Sasa hiyo 4 zinaenda tu zikididactiwa.
Unajua vitu zinaenda zikibadilika ukiangalia. Tuseme tu kweli. Vitu zinaenda zikibadilika. Sasa ni Mungu. Sasa ni Mungu. Ukiangalia on Saturday ile kiburi ilikuwa na on Monday ilikuwa tofauti sana.
But swali yangu ni then wewe unaona Arteta as a cup manager and not a league manager?
He's a league manager as well. Ako sawa. Hatuna shida na.
Kama leagues zinaisha January kama Champions League.
Nimekwambia 10 years. 10 years is when Arsenal fans will start having that talk that they need Arteta out. As for now, we will continue to enjoy his hairline. Hakuna pale anaenda.
Marvin, Arteta in, Arteta out, end of the season.
Arteta in.
You are one of the few fans wanasema.
Wako wengi. I don't know which ones. The ones that you know that are saying Arteta out are the few ones.
Mbona ikue Arteta out mkilose?
No, terms of the duration.
It's duration. You've given him enough time to give you something solid.
That's why I'm saying things change. Hata hao teams zingine pia wana train.
Sijakata. Klopp alikuja hakukaa 6 season apate. Haya, cheki mtu kama Maresca, cheki mtu kama the previous manager wa Chelsea. Wakuchukua that long. Now, the patience is important, sijakata. But at some point wewe kama fan, hautakaa down ujiulize, okay sawa. Bana, we have arguably the best team, arguably the best defense in the league. Lakini manzi angalia what's happening. Hatuwezi chukua hii ligi 3 seasons back to back.
Mimi siwezi blame Arteta kusema kweli. Siwezi blame.
There's no one to blame.
Hakuna mtu wa blame. Arteta ako tu sawa.
Aya, na team members uko sawa na hao?
Top.
Hata Gikaresh?
Top. Ukiwa fan unakuwa fan.
To the death.
To the death. Usianze kubabaika huyo.
But you have to be, but you're a fan of the club, not the players or the manager of the club. So you're happy with where your club is right now?
Niko sawa.
Aya. And now finally, kama watu wanataka get in touch with Kalakoda Promotions.
Yes.
Pale digitally ama in any other way. Tupatie.
If you want to get in touch with Kalakoda Promotions, just go on Instagram, Kalakoda Promotions. If you go to Twitter, same thing, Kalakoda. Just write Kalakoda Promotion across all social medias. Yes. Utatupata hapo tu.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then for, we are Kenyans, sometimes tunatakaga a physical place tunaweza visit, a physical address. So kama wanataka kuja to any of the offices za Kalakoda, wanapata wapi?
Okay, one tunaweza sema since the last time was the first one, that is what we are planning to do. In maybe by the end of this month we'll be having our location where our offices will be.
Good.
And then itakuwa rahisi for people to get us to watch na mambo ya social media, sasa tunapatana physical.
Exactly. We have been having Marvin Obuya in studio. He's the head of boxing pale Kalakoda Promotion. Na amesema promotion ya the championship ama ya the Premier League tutagoja bado na Ateta. Bro, kingiyo bi
Ateta
I wish Ateta anaweza kuwa boxer kuja promotion yako. For the last 6 seasons.
Ata to support.
Last 6 seasons anafika tu finali, anafika to that championship belt, anashindwa. But yet he's always ranked second. Hata wewe utaanza kumuita kwa ofisi bro. Tengeza belt ya second.